Okay, so let me start to do a little bit of recapitulation. So class, we are still now in the 5 vehicle. Okay, so in 5 vehicle, we begin with the right wheel. We have already finished the right wheel. Okay, so from the right wheel, we will go to the next steps to understanding the reincarnation for the 5 realms. Okay, we already finished discuss the 5 realm already. Now, okay, by knowing the why we have to understand the 5 realm is to understand the suffering of the reincarnation, so that we work harder. We work harder, I mean, to develop more good deeds, more favorable deeds. Okay, so now we go to the next important elements in the 5 rika is regards to 3 meritorious deeds, which consists of giving, giving precept, and also this, I mean, the meditation. So these 3 of them, and there will be some knowledge shall we gain this 3. If without learning, you might not have a proper perception over this. We can have a check and experiment. Okay, so class, question number 1. Okay, if let's say one day, okay, you go at the street, you see the beggar, you see 2 beggars, okay, okay, one beggar is disabled, second beggar is, I mean, he's normal, okay, okay, I mean, you try to give $5 to each one of them, okay. How about the merit for both of them? It's just similar or different. One is disability, or one is normal, okay. Okay, if you think it's the same only, okay, put up your hand. It's the same. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 people is the same. 5, 6 people, okay, put up your hand. Who said the merit is the different? Put up your hand. The merit is different. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 people, 4 people. Okay, so half. Okay, okay. So second questions are okay. Okay, same. You go to do the dana. You try to do the dana. And then, all right, let me see first. Okay, I think one case will be good enough. We see, meaning to say that 4 versus 4, 50% versus 50%, meaning to say that the perceptions are different. Oh yeah, I got one more second question. Okay, so one day you also go to the market. Okay, in the market, you see the monk, you see the monk, then you think, whether it's a bogus monk, because recently a lot of bogus monk, or maybe sometimes the disability, often disability beggar, we heard that they come from the organization, right? They come from organization. Okay, I think better I use this. The beggar, the disability beggar. Then okay, if you maybe you think that okay. So I don't bother because I cannot judge, because you cannot judge whether you cannot judge immediately that whether it's a bogus or not bogus. So you think, never mind, I just give the money. I get the merit. So my real heart is more important than the reality. So it's the first choice. Second is no. I insist that without knowing this is the true one, I don't want to give because I don't want, to benefit the illegal organization behind. Okay, so 1 and 2. Who choose number 1? My real heart is more important. I don't bother so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Okay, put out your hand. Okay. Second, who insists you must know the truth before you do the giving? Put out your hand. Sally 1, 1 to 7. So you see, class, it doesn't matter. You see, meaning to say that, how come 2 issue? Of course, this 2 issue is quite controversy. So it seems that different people will have a different interpretation. But in Dharma, we have a guideline for you to judge, okay, how you should do the giving. Okay, let's take a look. So class, now we go to this verse. This is the right practice, the 3 threshold fortunate karma. So verse number 44, then 1 paragraph, 2 paragraph, 3 paragraph. Okay. Yes, Guan San, can you please read the paragraph for me?
Okay. Having wished to become human and having become human, one should cultivate the dharma of the divine vehicle without wanting to be a divine being. Also, one should cultivate the threefold fortunate karma diligently and vow to be born when the Buddha is present, to be rewarded with birth as human or divine being it is better to practice the human vehicle or the divine vehicle. What good dharma has the karmic result of birth as a human or divine being? How can one avoid being bound by the karmic result of becoming a human or a divine being and avoid regressing to evil destinies because of bad karma? This verse answers these three questions. Cannot see, Sifu. There is one word, right? Judged by their respective merits, the rewards of heaven are far superior to the rewards of human existence. Therefore, it is good to practice the dharma of the human vehicle, and better still, to practice the dharma of divine vehicle. Yet one should remember that humans are superior to divine being in three aspects. Discussed above that the Buddha came from the human world, and that the divine being looked at the human world as happy land when they are about to die. Thus, from the standpoint of having suitable environment in which to practice the Buddha Dharma, the human world is better than heavens, and the Dharma of human vehicle is more precious than the Dharma of divine vehicle. When studying Buddhism as human, people should not envy the happiness in the heavenly kingdoms, but should study the true Dharma of human vehicle. If one wishes to remain human, one practices the true Dharma of human vehicle, one will naturally obtain the precious human form in accordance with the karmic result.
Okay, thank you so much. Thumb up, please, once you finish. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, basically for this paragraph, okay, class, if you remember that if you compare the divine and the human, okay, remember how in divine, number one, they are more like, okay, they are more joy, they have more joy, okay, their body are more superior than us, okay, they have more joy. The merit, the rewards, all are better than us, okay. But anyway, if we compare human, number one, we have more courageous. Our courage is very strong. We can sustain, especially a class you see nowadays. If you read the newspaper, it's really truly reflect that human is the realm, there's a mixture between the suffering and also the happiness together. In COVID, recently all the case, what I see, I focus in a few points. Number one, the shop closing down. Okay, number one, all the retail are about to closing down. Second, people died due to the COVID. People are poverty stricken due to the COVID. Okay, so you see a lot of suffering here, you see. Then also the food deliverer, car accident, many people die. So you see, class, meaning to say that from here, there's an opportunity for us also to do the dharma, to help and to chip in, you see. So why we say that human realm, no matter how, we can have the opportunity to do the good deeds is more than the heaven. Because this thing will not happen in the heaven. We never heard about that. The heaven got COVID-19, and also people hungry, and people die due to car accident. No, it won't happen. Because their merit is so good, they enjoy all the time. So class, you see, now is the opportunity for us try to chip in and create some good deed. If let's say now if our country is very harmony, nothing happened, actually the opportunity to do good deed is not there. But here, due to the, there's the karma, everybody experience a different level of karma. So Bodhisattva have the opportunity to help and also to get a merit. See or not? So here it can really reflect the Dharma. Human is still better. Okay, and the second you see, no matter how you see, I think, is there anybody the COVID fatigue already? You feel quite tired also fighting for the SOP. Who feel fatigue already? Put up a hand. You feel a little bit fatigue for the SOP. Amanda, you see many people, you see 3 people, or at least you see, you feel fatigue, you see. But we still have to persist to it. So this is the courageous we have. This is the human. And I believe one day we are able to fight. Tamling, do you have confidence to fight over the COVID or not?
Just follow SOP to take care of ourselves.
Oh, you should say you have the confidence. It shows this is the courage of the human. Because humans are able to go to the moon. I think this is not the problem. Now even China, they travel to the Mars already, but because we all focus to this COVID news, then we ignore already. Because Chinese, they start traveling to Mars. Do you know that the news? Because people, we all focus in COVID, we don't bother the astronaut already. Who care them, right? But meaning to say that humans are so smart and have the courageous and also have, are able to, even though we have encountered many difficulties, but we're still very strong. Now COVID also is the same case. We show that we are strong, and all the human reflect that they are strong to encounter the COVID. You see, so that is the that is the precious as a human. It never happened to the heaven. Human only it can happen. This is the feature and our quality, our superior as a human. Okay, then you see, I think after this COVID, maybe more people want to learn Buddhism already. Basically, the trends is there because you see the suffering, and also you see the imperfect of the world. You see, so that's the aspiration that we inspire the human. You see, so that is why the human realm is still very precious. From here, we immediately know already. Okay, okay. So let's take a look. Okay. So I discussed all the facts already. So next paragraph. Okay, Yongxin, your turn to read, please. One should not actually
avoid practicing the Dharma of the divine vehicle. One can practice the Dharma of the divine vehicle, provided one's purpose is not to be reborn in the heavens and one really does not want to be reborn there. In this way, even if one practices the Dharma of divine vehicle, the power of one's vow will ensure that one will not be born in the heavens as a result of the karmic force of one's practice of this vehicle. The power of a vow is conceivable. However, it is better not to practice the profound Dharma of heaven, that is deep meditation, because if the karmic force is stronger than the power of the vow, one will be taken upward by the karmic force and be born in the heavens. If this happens, then one will have one of the 8 obstructions that impede the study of Buddhism. In order to obtain the joyful result of being born as a human or divine being, one has to cultivate the good karma of the human and divine vehicles, which are the 3 blessed deeds of which the Buddha spoke. These 3 blessed deeds are keeping the precepts, and practicing meditation. Only by cultivating this threefold fortunate karma, one can receive the joyful reward of becoming a human or divine being. Some people, such as those who pray to the King of Heaven with the hope that he will help them attain the goal of being born in heaven, are ignorant about the cause and effect and do not cultivate the right karma because they want to be born as humans or divine beings.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, basically, there's the rules here we have to remember. Number one, we should try to avoid to reborn to the heaven. Okay, for 5 in the aspect of the 5 vehicle. Okay, so but if let's say can we do the meditation? Yes, we can do meditation, but we should try to avoid to do the deep meditation, because deep meditation may lead us to the 8 obstruction. Okay, so what is the definition of the deep meditation? The reason is if you do the deep meditation, the karma is so strong and will bring you up. Okay, but we want to maintain as a human. So meaning to say that you can do some meditation, but not the very deep one, and then make a vow to remain as a human. Because you see a class, if without doing the meditation, basically our defilement will be very strong. Okay, you can ask yourself, you see, if you do, let's say, if you don't do the meditation, shall I know anybody, if you don't do the meditation, you feel, I mean, your mind is very hard to control. Anyone? You feel uncomfortable without doing the meditation in daily life? Yeah, how about the rest? 1 people only, sadly, 2 people only. So we need to say that you have to meditate in order you can maintain the tranquility of the mind. Okay, but we don't want to go too deep, because if you go too deep, it will become an obstruction. So let's try to see the definition of the deep meditation. So this is definition. Let's take a look. Basically, we got totally 8 I mean 8 level of the jhana, but not all the jhana are considered as 8 obstruction. The 8 obstruction mainly mainly pinpoint to the formless jhana. Let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look to the 8 obstructions. Buddhism. Eight difficulties. Yeah. Okay, the realm of hungry growth, the heaven of the long life. Any of the 18 heaven in the world of form of, or the 4 heaven in the world of a formless, well-being, long life. Or by another account, the heaven of a non-thought in the 4th meditation heaven in the world of a form. So that is the definition class. This is the definition. So we should try to avoid to go this. Any of the 18 heaven in the world of form, or the 4 heavens in the world of formlessness. Okay, so you can just copy down this. This is the definition. This soka kakai. It might not be right. Soka kakai. Class. Wait, let me check the better one. Yeah, this might not be that accurate. Let me check out first. Let's see the deep meditation, the definition of the deep meditation. Yes, only one only. So this is the 4th jhana. 4th jhana, the Wu Xiang Tian. Let me find for you. So this is we call it as a deep jhana. Okay, so this is the words. Asam nisatwa. So this is the realm we will try to avoid to go, because if you go there, you are not able to learn the dharma. So please copy down. Asam, I don't know how to pronounce this one. Asam nisatwa. Yeah, please copy down this. Yeah, I don't get English one. Okay, then second point is about the joyful result. You see how. Then class, even though we do the meditation, but after meditation, always remember that you make vow to go back as a human, they will be fine. So your power of the vow will bring you back to the human. Okay. Do you really like as a human? We got the COVID problem. Do you feel scared already? I have better go to the heaven. Anybody insists next slide want to become a human, even though COVID-19 you will encounter again, put up your hand. I still want to go back as a human, even though I got the COVID. Next slide. Amanda, you only, you don't want to come back already, Company want to come back, even though there's a COVID, still want to come back. Oh, okay, huh? Then how about the rest? The rest.
Cannot be God, ma. Cannot be. Come back as human, go ghost also.
Oh, come back and do more merit lah, huh? One son, you want to come back again next life? If let's say still got COVID, you want to insist as a human?
Don't know, Sifu.
Very hard to answer, right? I meaning to say that even though the Dharma said that here got suffering, but people quite scared with the suffering. If you're in the ICU, then you're not daring to say this thing. Yeah, because if you're infected, you're like you were suffocated. Just almost die for suffocation, you see. Okay, but remember, if you go back as a human, you have to endure. I think next life we go back, we don't have the COVID problem. Maybe we have a extreme climax problem, because humans are so smart to ruin the whole world. Yeah, you know, according to history, we have annihilations before, you know. The first one is due to the impact from the from the meteoroid. The second is due to what? It's due to the eruption of the volcano. The third one will be the human, we ourselves. Because we are able to melt down the ice in the Antarctica and Arctica. So finally, we will cause the third catastrophic to the world, the whole earth. So no worry, we always have a problem if you come back as a human now. So you see, in order to obtain the joyful result, you have to do the good karma. So we are going to do the threefold fortunate karma in order to go back as a human. Okay, then next paragraph again. Yeah. Okay. Amanda, the Buddha.
The Buddha warned people that praying to be born in the heavens without cultivating good karma is like throwing a big rock into a pond and praying for the rock to float. The ancient master said, to be born in heaven requires the appropriate karma. One will not become an immortal just by wishing it. It is a pity that many people in this world do not understand the right cause and effect or the right way to practice, but instead vainly wish to be born as humans and in the heavens. How can one avoid both being bound by the human and divine rewards of good fortune that come from practicing the good dharma of human and divine beings and regressing because of evil deeds? This can be done by making vows to be born in the human world while the Buddha is present, so as to be able to hear an exposition of the practice of the Dharma. If one can be born during a Buddha's time and thereby see a Buddha and hear the Dharma from him, one will have a causal connection with a Buddha, the Dharma, and the innumerable teachers and friends who practice the Buddha Dharma. Not only will one gradually accumulate the roots of the virtues, but one will also make an extensive connections with the Dharma itself. In this way, when one is born as a human in a future life, one will be guided and inspired by teachers and friends to return to the three treasures, to see the Buddha, to listen to the Dharma and practice it, and to again make connections with the Buddha Dharma and the innumerable people who practice it. With increasing contacts and continuing upward progress, one's merit will increase and one will not lose the human form through doing evil. Regressions from the human form usually happens to those who have not taken refuge in and not practiced the Buddha Dharma. Also, having taken refuge in and not having increased one's basis for good actions and matured one's potential to practice the Dharma, one will naturally enter the world transcending great vehicle and make preparations for attaining Buddhahood. Therefore, those who have not vowed to live the three realms or to have the Bodhi mind should diligently practice the true Dharma of the human vehicle and vow every day. I wish that the three treasures will embrace me compassionately. I resolve to be able to see Buddha and hear the Dharma life after life. After making such right vows to see the Buddha and hear the Dharma, One who practices the right deeds of the human vehicle will be guaranteed not to lose the human form and will thereby attain Buddhahood.
Okay, thank you so much. 3 paragraphs. Sorry, wait. One. Okay, a few things here. Class, let's take a look at. Okay, number one, okay, in order to reborn as a human and the divine and go to the divine, there must be some rules and regulation. Not just simply do whatever you like. Okay, so there's an analogy that like threw the rock into the river and asking the rock to float. It is not logic. So there's the rules of the karma. You have to know what to do. Okay. Then second, if let's say you wish to reborn as a human, why we say reborn as a human is so good? Because at the ancient time, especially with the Buddha time, if you reborn as a human, you are able to meet the Shakyamuni. Then you meet the Shakyamuni and also you meet the Dharma. You meet so many Dharma friends. So they all will help you together to learn the Dharma. You need friends at the same time. So that's why we have to reborn as a human again, so that we have a we will continue our connection with the triple gem. So that's why after you do some good merit, you have to always make a resolve that. You have to always resolve that. I hope I can reborn as a human and we met the triple gem from a next life. So next life, no wonder, no matter where you reborn, you always will be met with the triple gem. Okay, so they will be fine. So let me check something first. Okay, can you check for me the footnote number 10, from which one Nikaya or from which one Agama? Class, can you check it out for me? Number 10, throw the big rock in the pond and pray the rock to float. What reference is it from?
Sifu is Amayamagama 3.
Ha! What is it like?
Net Yamagama 3.
玉华是不是中文来的？It's a Mandarin why it looks so awkward
it's no, it's the don't know how to pronounce.
Oh, Madhyagama, right?
Yeah,
Madhyagama.
Madhyamaka, right?
yeah.
Madhyamaka, 哦，那个是中观OK 了 ，middle contemplation, OK， 哎呀，alamak OK， so it's Madhyamika 啦，so we know I heard actually Agama. I think wrong. It should be Agama. How about the rest? Do you check the same reference? Are they correct? The reference is correct. Correct? Correct? Everybody agree? How come it's not Agama? It's supposed to be Agama. How come it's not Agama? Okay. 玉华真的是Madhyamaka 对吧？Madhyamaka 怎么会是中观的嘞？那么奇怪的OK Okay. So this is number 1. Okay. Then you see, make a vow to be born as a human. All right. Class, do you remember each time you do the dana, you see, how can I, you remember how do I transfer the merit? Basically, I will write, I wish to express gratitude to so-and-so, okay, I mean for the donation, okay, for the donation, for the offering of maybe money, monetary offering or offering of food, okay. Then you see, I say, wishing him or her that will acquire adequate requisites towards the way to the Nibbana. You see, so meaning to say that why I bless so because once you do the dana, you see, then I will have to do the blessing to you. If according to the rules of the karma, giving the reward of the giving in the next slide, it will appear as maybe as a medicine, maybe as a food, maybe as a money, maybe as a transportation. Basically, it's about the requisite. So you see, I do my blessing according to the rules of the karma. That's why you after you do the dana, you see, how come all the texts are the same? It seems quite similar for everybody. Why? Because if I write the text, you see in the group, let's say we got 10 people, 10 people read the same thing, meaning to say that 10 people is blessing you, you know. You do yourself, you make a vow, then I bless you, then the other student also bless you. You remember sometimes some people, they do the merit not for themselves, it's for the parents, you know. So if 10 of the people in the group are also read, okay, wishing him how and how, then 10 people bless, I mean, they bless the target, you see. You get what I mean? So that's why the vow is important, and we give the blessing also important. Giving, read out, the blessing also is some kind of like some sort like a vow. So there will have some power inside. So that's why we do so, you see. But here he said, if let's say you want to reborn as a human, you have to always resolve that I have to come back as a human and make the triple jet. So next time you can include this in your transferation of the merit. Okay. And next, let's take a look. I say always with the three treasure. Then you see, if let's say you didn't lose the human form, naturally you can enter the world transcending. What does that mean? World transcending means the Nibbana. But in order to achieve to the Nibbana, you must be able to become, for being human first, you must become the human, because human is the fundamental for everything. If you cannot get the human body, the human form, there's no chance for you for world transcending, which is nibbana. Okay, so that's the meaning. It's about heavy rain. Do you need to go to collect your clothes or not? Heavy rain, big cloud. Actually, whole sky turns dark already. Do anybody need to go to do the thing? No need. Okay, so you are using dry machine. In Malaysia, you are using the dry machine.
Afternoon done already.
Oh, you've done everything. Yeah. Now you see, you have to practice diligently every day. Then you see, I have the result. You see or not? So that's why class. Next time, after you do the dana, you have to make a vow and resolve. Okay. Please help people do the blessing to other, because you bless other also will bless for you. And sometimes because like you see, actually I accept some case, their relative in the ICU. Usually people, they need hopes. So they need hope. So for me, I think it is good. If you are in the group, you see, wow, 20 people blessing to my beloved, you see. My beloved in ICU due to COVID. So there's a hope to the people, see. So class, always remember, you do to the to other people, and other people do to you at the same time. We remember that. Okay, next paragraph, let's take a look. Now we go to the fortunate karma of the giving. Okay, Yokwa, your turn, please.
Humans depends on the basic necessity of life to obtain happiness, but these necessities are derived from precious charities. Thus, for sentient beings, the Buddha always prays for the good fortunes of giving. When the Tathagata expounded the Dharma, he did not teach like we do now. He did not always begin with discourses about graduation from birth and death, birth in a pure life, all things being identical with emptiness, or both mind and the Buddha being identical. For all sentient beings, the Tathagata always began by teaching, giving, keeping the precepts, and practicing meditation for the rebirth in heavens. If the people were able to believe in and practice these virtues and also appear to have the roots of virtues necessary to transcend the world, then the Tathagata would expound the world transcending karma. Of the threefold fortunate karma, giving was what the Tathagata always preached first. He did this for a very important reason, as was clearly expounded in this verse by Chandrakitri Bodhisattva. For their happiness, humans depend on the basic necessity of life, such as clothing, food, lodging, transportation, and meditation. Even among the lowest species of animals, the need for food is the most basic requirement. Only when this need is met can they live well and happily. Our happiness, consisting of sensations at the physiological level, cannot exist without the material necessity of life. Even mental joy depends on this foundation. The ancient Chinese therefore say, after the granaries are full, people will be aware of rich, and it is. And after the country becomes prosperous, education will be thriving. The happiness derived from material life is the most basic desire of all sentient beings, including human beings. The Buddha never objected to this proper human desire for material happiness. He saw fulfilling it as a priority that was befitting for sentient beings and preached the Buddha Dharma of cutting the roots of poverty forever.
Thank you so much. This is it is pronounced as a rights and ethics. Okay, rights and ethics. So thank you so much. Okay, class, basically, there's 2 points here. Okay, number one, for Buddha, okay, basically, the teaching of the Shakyamuni, it doesn't begin with the Pure Land or talk about the liberation, like what we do now. Sometimes, if you go to the temple or if you go to organization, they always begin with, oh, Western Pure Land. So we'll always keep on pursuing go to the Western Pure Land. But actually, in the from the original text, it doesn't begin in this way. It used to begin in what? Giving. Why? Because Shakyamuni noticed that through the giving, we have a basic necessity, then we have the joy and we have the comfort, and then you can from there proceed to learn the Dharma. Like now, you see, I'm teaching Dharma, you're all learning Dharma. Meaning to say that our basic necessity have been fulfilled. Am I right? We must have enough food, clothing, medicine, okay, and also transportation. Okay, nowadays you should have some retirement planning. All right. Then we also have to take care with our parents. All this, you see, when everything settled down, then we have the mood to study the Dharma. Am I right? Oh, if we are still lack of this basic necessity, or maybe some of you are just become a Grab deliverer. Am I right? Oh, if you don't have, if all these basic necessity are so fulfilled, you have to really think other method to fulfill so that you can feel comfortable. You see or not? So that's the point of why Shakyamuni begin with the giving. But of course, maybe you argue that no, I work hard every day I work so that I will be paid. If I don't work, I didn't pay. How come you say it's a past life karma? Yes, it is quite hard for us to differentiate, to tell the difference. Now whatever we have, which part is from present effort, which part is from past life effort, is quite hard to tell. But if let's say, maybe if you strike a lottery, for $1 million, basically we can say that this is the merit from the past life. Because why Kamling you strike the lottery, but not me, Amanda, or Sally? See or not? There must be some merit you accrued. Then this life you get a big lump sum of the wealth. You see, or sometime if you during the gathering of the when there's a gathering during the primary schools, friends all gather together, you notice that you try to compare. Maybe two people, they are similarly graduated or tertiary education graduated. They work so hard, but just don't know somehow. Some people they put some effort, immediately they see the result already. With a more luxury lifestyle. But maybe other one, no matter how hard they put the effort, just so only. I don't know whether you realize or not. Or sometimes you have to believe that there must be something which is invisible and something you can't explain one. Which make things appear like this way. So this part, which is invisible, and the uncertain factor, maybe I can attribute it as the past life karma. Okay, so that is the point to mention. So let's go to the next paragraph. Okay, here is here. So a Buddha usually begin with the teaching with the giving, keep the precept and the meditation. Number 11 reference. Can you check for me? Which one should try? Is it? Everybody check. You must have the impression, or you must have a habit to refer to the reference to check the authenticity of the information. You must make it as a habit. From which one?
Same as the earlier one, number 10.
Madhyamika. Okay, Madhyamika. Maybe you can copy down the Mandarin.
Kahirute Mayama Agama.
Oh, Madhyama Agama. Okay, okay, let's see.
Is this Zonglun?
是 Madhyama Agama. Right? It is spelling like this. Madhyama Agama. Madhyama Agama. This is correct. Okay, I see. Well, this is the middle collection. Class, in Mandarin, this is a Zhong A Han Jing. Madhyama Agama, Zhong A Han. Madhyama means the Zhong. Agama means is the teaching from the ancient. Okay, so this text is quite early composed. It's before the Christ. Madhyama Agama, yes. Or maybe you can write middle collection. 不是中观，是中阿含。Mandarin. If you know Mandarin, please write 中阿含。You write in this way. 中阿含。Okay, so we get the point already. So Zhong A Han is quite early. How can I say so? Let me check for you one reference. Okay, class, take a look. You see how. So this is the development of the history of Buddhism. Okay, so Sangha Mahasangha. Okay, after Buddha Parinibbana, we split already. One school we call it Mahasamgika, one is a Stiwara, you see. Okay, then from Mahasamgika, we see we got split some more, you see, from 2nd century to the 1st century. Okay, so this is the splitting. You go to the Mahayana. So this is the Theravada. It's about 100 years later, Theravada. So this is where the Madhyamaka Agama appeared. It's about, I think, maybe this era. So before Christ, it happened before the Christ. Okay, this is not that clear. I will try to find you the clearer one. Maybe with all the relevance. Okay, you see, we see the school only, but we don't have the year. I think Mandarin is still the best. We compare. Mandarin is still the best. So let me show you a little bit this. Okay, class, let's take a look. Okay, you can see the number will be fine. You see before Christ are 470, and also the 3 before Christ 300. So the middle collection was compiled about this era. It is originated about this era. Okay, it's quite early. You see, 330 before Christ. So meaning to say that it's more than 2,000 years from now. If you calculate early Nisan, 2,300 years about. This type of sutra, the history is so long, you see. And let's take a look. Okay, you see, yes.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. So let's take a look. Then let's take, just now the chart I haven't shown. Let's see. So this is the chart, you see. This we call original Buddhism is about Christ, before Christ 300 years and before Christ 470. So the middle collection is, I think it is originated, it's compiling during this period. Okay, meaning to say it's about 2,300 years from now. It's quite old, the sutra. Then you see, according to the Chandrakirti Bodhisattva, so I think this is supposed to be Mahayana text. Please check for me. The reference number 12. Yeah, where is it?
Lu Zhonglun.
Lu Zhonglun, yes, class. Let's take a look. This one, the Lu Zhonglun, it is compiled in this era. Let's take a look. Yes, it's in the Mahayana. It's a -50 to 200. It's about this time. Lu Zhonglun. So quite early, also quite early. So this is the texts are from a different era. If you're able to scrutinize it, it's considered quite professional Buddhism learning. Because at different stages, they got the Buddhism teaching which possess different feature. Then you wouldn't confuse. You know, the teaching is from this era, or the teaching is from this era. You know it very well. And then you wouldn't confuse. So next time, once you see the different the teaching from the different area, how you won't confuse. Okay. Now let's take a look. You see, the happiness depends on the basic necessity. See, so you see, ancient Chinese also say what you say, the granaries must be full first. Then once the granary are full, then you start to talk about the rice and the ethic. Okay. Then you talk about once the country become prosperous, then you talk about the education. Meaning to say that if the stomach empty, then it's quite impossible. We talk about the rice and ritual, and the stomach empty, the country, we won't talk about education. We have to feed ourselves first. Then we go to the next paragraph. So where do the material come from? Okay, so let's see. Who haven't read through it? Okay, Sally, your turn to read, please. Where do the material?
Where do the material necessities come from? People think that only answer is through hard work and technological development. This shows that they know only about present conditions and not about karma of previous existence. The Buddha said that all material necessities of this life come from good karma of being charitable with our possessions. If we store them up and not use them, they mean nothing to us when we die. If we enjoy or waste them, then they are gone. If we use some of them for charity in the field of good fortune, then they can become the basis of material happiness in future life. The merits earned through giving are varied, as is the correspondent happiness. Giving is like sowing seeds in the field, which can yield from 10 to 100 times much in return. All the material resources in nature come from shared karma of all sentient beings, who are in turn gathered and process them in accordance with their past karmic work. Although present effort is necessary to gather, develop, and manufacture things, were it not for the past karma of giving, these material resources would not exist. For example, in some very poor areas that lack certain materials, no matter how much effort is applied to change present conditions, nothing can be gained. The rise of material happiness really does depend on the past good karma of giving.
Okay, thank you
So
so much.
material necessities.
Never mind, you can stop here. Okay, Sally, thank you. Okay. Yes. So this paragraph, people will ask, why here we all possess some basic necessity? So maybe some people argue that it must be present effort, but Shakyamuni said that no, not only the present effort. You have to include the previous life karma, especially in giving. So just not the paragraph, you see, some is very meaningful. They say, if you possess something excessive, if you don't give out, it's just a wasting only. For you, it's nothing because you just store it only. Am I right? You just keep on storing the thing only. It doesn't make sense. But of course, if you waste it out, it will gone, you see. So he say, if that's the case, after some planning, after some financial planning, or after some maybe the requisite planning, the excessive, just give it out. Because once you give it out, basically it will return in 100 times, multiple times it will return to you. Okay, so there's one example you could say, in certain places, no matter how hard they work, there's still lack of the requisite. Yeah, recently I go to check the Facebook. Recently I noticed that the Muslim they work very hard to fundraising for Yemen, Syria, okay, and also in Africa, maybe some country in Africa, a few states. Well, I mean, superficially, we noticed that there might be some, battle involved. Okay, they are fighting each other. Okay, so physically, from appearance, we see this is the cause. But the way I see it, you see, nowadays, even in Yemen or Syria, about millions of people, they don't know where are their breakfast next morning. They all don't know. You see. Very dependent on external assistance or food aid, you see. So meaning to say that this batch of people are also quite high possibility that the giving that what they do is not much enough. So for this life, they always worry for the next meal, you see. But of course, there will be the accumulation of the multiple factors to cause the thing happen. But we will see that there must be this batch of people, they really, stingy maybe in the past life. So they always worry into the next meal. So that's the thing we can see here. Now you see, so here mentioned already. Once we do the giving, the basic material happiness, it will become the basic material happiness in our future life. But of course, we have to do the planning. You have to do the planning. So certain portion is for your daily expenses, certain portion for your investment, certain portion is for your reserve, certain portion to support your family, and then certain portion extra for do the giving. So must do the good planning. If you are able to, do the good planning, meaning to say that you take care the present life, you also take care to the future life. They will be very fine. They will be very good. Okay, so I think that's the class for today. Okay, 2 minutes for you all. Can you please close your eye? Now just try to recapitulate in your mind. Try to recall what did you learn today now for 2 minutes.